Here they get here. Okay, so we'll call the IDA, are we good to go?
Yes, we're recording, we're live streaming,
Okay.
we're not muted.
So we'll call the IDA meeting to order first. We have 3 meetings today. And the first, Julio, could you do the roll call, please?
Yes, Ms. Alpha.
Here,
Ms. Alpha is present. Mr. Siegel. Mr. Siegel is absent.
he'll be here any moment.
Okay, Ms. Roy.
Here.
Ms. Roy is present. Mr. Smith.
Here.
Mr. Smith is present. Mr. Gunter.
Here.
Mr. Gunter is present. Mr. Balon.
Yeah.
Mr. Balon is present. Mr. Sykes, Mr. Siegel, Mr. Brooks are absent.
Okay. The first order of business is to approve the September 12 meeting minutes and the September 29th special meeting minutes. So I think we can do them together. Did everybody have a chance to review the minutes that were in your packet? Any additions, corrections, questions? Could I get a motion to approve both
So
sets of
moved.
minutes? Paul, can I have a second? Phil, all in favor? Aye.
Hi.
Any opposed? Okay, carries. Bills and communications. Jen, you want to take us through, or Julio?
Sure, there was a revised schedule of payments sent out with your amended agenda packets on Friday, I believe. So there were just a couple of additions for bills that had rolled in since the original version was sent out. So what we are looking at today is a total of 7 payments for your approval in the amount of $7,921.78.
Can I have a motion to approve the payments?
So moved. Second.
Paul, second Scott. Any questions, discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, carries. Jen, your staff activity report, I know it was in the packet. Do you want to call anything out, or?
I have no updates or changes to the staff report. Does anyone have questions?
I don't. Okay, so we'll move on to new business. The first resolution,
Can we just
do we need a,
We don't
sure,
need a-
the quarterly financial, of course. Go ahead.
So with respect to the quarterly financial report, there's not a whole lot to discuss. The main, if you look at the balance sheet page, the main thing that's changed since last quarter is that our total capital assets have gone up a little bit. And on the second page, which is a breakdown of the capital assets, the reason for the increase is that we purchased some additional equipment, which is now leased to SVG 26 LLC. That's the Alton Distillery in Bethel. Otherwise, not a lot of real change in the balance sheet. Same thing with the profit and loss. So the profit and loss is a quarterly comparison and then a comparison with our 2022 budget. Our revenues are above what we budgeted because we always budget really conservatively with respect to project fees, sales tax fees and similar fees. So we try to be conservative there, and we exceeded that target so far for 2022. And then expenses are pretty much where we would expect them to be. Does anyone have questions about anything in the quarterly? Be happy to talk more about any of it. Thanks.
Do we need a motion to approve the
No.
financials? No, I didn't think so. Okay. All right, so if there's no other questions, we'll move on to the new business, and we have one resolution before us today to authorize a mortgage and related documents securing a loan from Bank of America in the amount of $18,100,000 relating to the Mogan Ovland LLC project. So who's gonna talk about
I
that?
can do it very, very straightforward. They're refinancing lots of their camps. Total aggregate financing is 80 million. The 2 camps in Sullivan County will be securing 18,100,000 of the aggregate 80 million loan.
How big are those camps? Yeah, where are they?
Big.
They're
It must be for that amount of money.
They're big.
these Moganov land, well, these camps before they were privately owned were once reported to be the largest summer camps in the country. One is in Bethel, one is in Tustin. And they're over 1,000 campers, I believe, at each camp.
385 acres,
How much?
385 acres. it
Yeah,
says.
they're gigantic. But the private company that sits on top of this camp group also owns camps throughout New York State, Massachusetts, Pennsylvania. And it's owned by the Shabsels family, Shabsels. And they, the 80 million in financing is being secured by their portfolio or part of their portfolio of camps. And the two in Sullivan County are securing 18,100,000. They are, we are obligated under our transaction documents to, at their request, mortgage the agency's interest in the camps. They are not getting a mortgage recording tax abatement, so they will be paying mortgage recording tax to the county clerk on all of the new money. There's 3 million and change left on an existing mortgage that's being assigned, and the rest will be a new gap mortgage. And they'll be paying mortgage recording tax on the new gap mortgage.
So we're simply fulfilling our obligation on the prior agreement.
Yeah, and it's typical that it's Phil is right. It's almost always the case that our basic documents provide that since the IDA has an interest in the real property, here the IDA's interest in the real property is holding the fee interest because the camps were transferred to the existing beneficial owner via the IDA because they were always exempt from real property taxes from the inception of the construction of these camps until the IDA became involved, where they're now making a pilot payment on camps that had always been exempt prior till now.
Any other questions anyone has on that resolution? So can I have a motion to approve the resolution?
We'll move.
Paul, second Carol. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, so that resolution is approved. Our last agenda item before we go to public comment is the discussion and approval of the 2023 budget. That was also in your packet. So the last two pages. Jen, are you gonna talk about it?
Sure, the version that was in your agenda packet has changed slightly from the version that was distributed prior to the September meeting. On the revenues page, there are a couple of projects that have been approved and closed or are well on their way to closing. So we added their annual lease payments to the revenue side. That's Coach Family 3 LLC and Bay Hospitality Catskills LLC. And then on the bottom of the revenues page, and these are highlighted in the PDFs I sent out. We just adjusted up our expected year interest income projections. On the expenses side, there's no changes from the previous drawing. Does anyone have questions about anything in the budget?
It seems pretty straightforward. There's nothing that we don't typically account for, right? Walter, anything you want to add or no?
No, I think we have one more project that will also close, but for budgeting purposes, this is certainly good enough. I do expect the Monticello Industrial Park infrastructure transaction to close in the month of November. And we'll speak a little bit more about that when we get to the Sullivan County Funding Court meeting in a few minutes.
Okay. If there are no further questions, comments on the budget, then can I have a motion to approve?
We'll move.
Paul, second Scott, all in favor, say aye. Aye.
I'm not here, so. right?
You're here now.
You're here now.
Please note in the minutes that Howard is now here. Okay. We'll now move to public comment for the Sullivan County Industrial Development Agency meeting. Does any member of the public want to speak?
Yeah, just because of what happened with Howard coming in. I know we do at the county level, is you'll say Howard in. And it'll be on the video.
Okay,
No, I was in only about 4 minutes ago.
noted. Well, I think the video captured you walking.
Oh,
in
did
as
it?
well,
Yeah.
So I think we're good.
Did it capture me shaking Ken's hand?
It probably did.
Okay.
So
So just so that if you get an email about being colluded with you this afternoon, I want you to know that I did that for a reason. I want them to know we're close.
Yeah, right. And just like if they step out of the room, we say Howard out,
Okay,
so you have
we'll
it.
try to remember that, Ken.
Okay.
All right, next meeting is the Sullivan County Funding Corp. Roll
Do we-
call. Oh, wait,
we-
sorry, you have to do your,
Yes, and do we have a need for an executive session? discuss.
We do need an IDA executive session to discuss a project that is in default in payment to the IDA.
Okay, so we need to do that now then before we go to the funding board.
You could recess this meeting, get through the rest of the meeting, come
Okay.
back to this meeting and do it at the end. That's what I
Fine,
was
then the public doesn't have to
contemplating,
come
so
back.
that-
Perfect.
right.
Okay, so let's do that. So can I have a motion to recess the IDA meeting? I think we need a motion. Scott, second Carol, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, so we're recessed for the IDA. We're now going to switch to the funding.